What do J.R. Smith, a bowl of soup, and Game 1 of the NBA Finals all have in common?
Let me think here. All legendary for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. The man who never made a shot he didn't like, the king of irrational confidence, J.R. Smith.
I'm saying, dog, no one in the history of basketball has done as much wild, hilarious, and straight up chaotic stuff as J.R. Smith. And trust us, this is about to be the craziest 10 minutes of your day. Let's go. J.R. Smith had everything, all right? Handles like LaMelo, the athleticism of Vince Carter, and the jumpers pure as Devin Booker, all right? But he also had the decision-making of a dude playing 2K at 3 a.m. on Mountain Dew and no sleep.
1 minute he's catching alley-oops that make you question how high his ceiling truly is. The next, he's chucking a fadeaway over 3 defenders, and you know he's the only one in the building thinking it's going in.
Facts. We're talking about a man suspended for throwing hot soup over his own coach.
A man with a finals blunder so iconic it deserves its own wing in the Hall of Fame.
A man notorious for not having a single F to give.
But here's the thing. JR's career as an all-time irrational confidence basketball player ironically started with a very rational decision.
Hold up. J.R. Smith? Rational? Nah, I need to hear this.
Well, back in 2004, JR was the #1 rated shooting guard in the country and had committed to play ball at North Carolina as a Tar Heel. But everything changed when his dad got sick, and at 18, JR decided to skip college, declare for the draft, and become the sole provider for his family.
That's real, dog. That's not the JR we hear about in the memes. Dude took a serious gamble, but it paid off.
It did, but not immediately. Straight out of high school, JR came into the league with all the talent in the world, but not the mentality to match.
Knowing JR, you had to know he was different from day one. As a rookie, this man has his teammates' morning shoot-arounds were optional. Like, bro, what?
Optional. That tells you everything you need to know about rookie JR. Defense, non-existent. Shot selection, reckless at best. And his head coach, Byron Scott, he was losing his mind trying to rein dude in.
Yep, same Byron Scott who won those chips with Magic. The guy was the definition of a my way or the highway coach, all right? And JR, he was choosing the highway every single time.
Bro, it got so bad that JR called his coach out publicly, saying he was terrible at his job. Like, how you beefing with your coach at 19? That's next level irrational confidence.
Yup. And Byron wasn't about to let that slide. By year 3, they couldn't stand each other. So what happened? JR got shipped over to the Mile High City. How fitting.
In Denver, that's where the chaos truly began.
For sure. The Nuggets were the perfect place for JR. AI, Melo, 3 to the head, 007, Birdman. It was a squad full of dudes who thrived in chaos. We didn't even talk about Kmart.
And trust us, JR fit right in. 1 minute he's hitting 7 threes in a quarter. The next he's getting ejected for starting to brawl with the Knicks at the Garden.
Still can't get my head over that Knicks brawl, man. Melo throws a haymaker. JR swinging. Nate Robinson's in the crowd like it's WWE. They were wilding out. But it's funny now that we have the perspective. We know Nate Robinson wasn't on no type of time.
Oh, man. Sorry, Nate. So after that Knicks brawl, you'd think JR might tone it down, right? Wrong. My guy turned the chaos up. Next thing you know, he's out there breaking records in Denver for both threes made and terrible shot selection.
Facts, dog. The time he hit 8 threes in a quarter, bro was on fire. Next game, 0 for 11. Sheesh. That's the full J.R. Smith experience in 48 hours right there, all right? He could go from looking like Steph Curry to someone's uncle playing in Timberlands.
And speaking of threes, let's talk about April 13th, 2009. JR sets the Nuggets franchise record with 11 made threes in one game. This man was pulling from everywhere. Transitions, step backs, fadeaways. Didn't matter who was guarding him or if he even saw the rim.
JR wasn't just shooting shots. He was shooting prayers. And for one night, every single one of them got answered. It's like the hoop had Wi-Fi and he was the only one with the password.
Man, if there's one thing JR was good for giving us, it was inconsistency in the most entertaining way possible. The guy would drop 25 one night and then do something absolutely obscene the next. You'd think he was trying to get benched on purpose.
Oh, 100%. JR was the ultimate give and take player. He'd give you a performance for the ages, but then take it right back with some off-the-wall decision-making. Let's break it down, dog.
Early in JR's career, back in 2007, the man was involved in a tragic car accident that led to the death of a passenger. He ended up serving jail time and facing a suspension from the NBA.
It's a heavy start for a young player. What's crazy is how he bounced back. I mean, not just in his career, but with his on-court persona. You'd think that would humble him, but nah. JR doubled down on being him.
Fast forward to 2009. JR is on Twitter replacing letters like he's dropping gang signs, and the internet goes crazy. The man had to shut down his account because people thought he was repping the wrong set.
JR was out here tweeting like it was GTA NBA edition, all right? But somehow, even with that drama, he kept dropping buckets and catching alley-oops like it was nothing.
Now 2013. Whew, this was a banner year for JR. On one hand, he wins Sixth Man of the Year with the Knicks, career highlight.
On the other hand, Rihanna calls him out for partying too hard during the playoffs, saying he's up there hungover every night.
Riri calling you out? If that wasn't bad enough, JR decides to slide into a fan's DMs with the new iconic line. Trying to get the pipe? And just like that, NBA Twitter had a meme for years.
I mean, dude was doing numbers off the court in more ways than one, all right? But he was still hooping. That's the thing with JR. You can't ever fully hate him. Even when he was making those mid-2010 appearances on Shaqtin' a Fool with JaVale McGee, he had something that you just had to love, all right?
Then there's 2018. Peak J.R. Smith. First, we've got the infamous soup throwing incident with assistant coach Damon Jones. Like, who's suspended for chucking soup? What is this, a prison fight?
I mean, J.R. Smith does. That's who. And then a few months later, he gives us one of the most iconic blunders in NBA history. Game 1 of the finals. I mean, he single-handedly is responsible for LeBron James winning one less championship. I mean, guy grabs the rebound with the game tied and dribbles it out to half court like they were up.
Ooh, you know LeBron was ready to fight him right there on the court. The slept-on, forgotten part.
He's been playing the last 3 games with a serious right hand injury that he suffered after punching a blackboard in the locker room in Golden State following Game 1. Game 1, as it turns out, was costly, not just on the court, but off the court. And the swelling, Scott, was so bad after Game 1 that the imaging that they took couldn't even determine whether it was a break.
Bron was so pissed, he went to the locker room, punched a hole, and broke his wrist.
Man, it's legendary from many aspects. It's crazy. Like, only JR could mess up that bad and somehow make it unforgettable in the best way.
Oh, and let's not forget about the Supreme tattoo that same year. JR got the brand's logo tatted on his leg, and the NBA was like, nah, man, you can't actually do that. Had to cover it up and pay the fine.
I mean, I'm not all with that. I feel like that's got to be a violation of freedom of speech. But nonetheless, JR turned his leg into a billboard and still said, nah, I'm not covering it. All right. Peak irrational confidence at its best. He even made fighting the league feel iconic.
And we're not saying all this to gossip. We're just showing you how crazy this man's career truly was. Just when he was at the point when you think he might slow down, 2020 hits. The whole world's inside, except for JR, who's getting filmed outside beating up a kid who just vandalized his car.
And they saying we outside. I mean, bro was out there playing real life GTA again. But hey, he said he was protecting his property. And honestly, it's JR. Who's surprised at this point?
And that right there is the beauty of J.R. Smith. The guy could frustrate you, amaze you, make you laugh all in the same week.
A true enigma. 1 minute he's dropping 25 and hitting game winners. The next he's in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. J.R. Smith is proof that you don't have to make sense to make history. And sometimes that's better. All right. We may never figure out what was going through his head half the time, but one thing's for sure. We'll never forget the ride.
And you won't forget the ride either if you make it last with
EvanAlexanderGrooming.com. Let's keep it real. If you want to keep the hairline, you got to hit up EvanAlexanderGrooming.com. Why don't you let them know more about Evan?
Yeah, they're the best in the business. And make sure you guys are plugging in that promo code hoop_plug_ for a smooth 20% off at checkout for all your men's hair and skincare needs.
Supporting us is supporting them. As always, guys, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Put some flavor in your ear.
Peace.